KAATSU Canada. I'm a huge fan of the KAATSU C4, but sometimes it doesn't work the way that it should. Most of the time this is because there is a leak in the system. All modern KAATSU equipment relies on compressed air to pressurize the air bands. If there is a leak in the system, then the system won't work properly. This video will take you through all the diagnostic steps we would do here to identify which component in the KAATSU system is causing the issue. Just a quick note, while I'm going to be using the KAATSU C4 in this tutorial, the methods I'm going to demonstrate will work for the KAATSU C3 and the Cycle 2.0 models as well. Let's go through the steps I would take to identify which component in the KAATSU system might be leaking. I'm going to start with the compressor. You will need your compressor, the single limb KAATSU plug that came with your unit, and all 4 of your air hoses. What we're going to do is test the compressor with one air hose at a time to see whether it holds air. If you can't find the single limb KAATSU plug, then you can use another air hose. Start by plugging one hole on the compressor with the single limb KAATSU plug. Then insert an air hose into the other side. Turn on the compressor and set it to constant mode. On the C4, this is found under Advanced, Constant. Choose arm position and 80 SKU. Press save to start the compressor. If everything is working well, the compressor will come up to pressure and then stop running. The pressure will gradually drop in the system over time. When the pressure drops 5 SKU below the target pressure, the compressor will run briefly to bring the system back up to pressure. If there's an issue, the compressor may not get up to pressure at all, or it may come up to pressure and then keep running. Without turning off the compressor, remove the air hose and replace it with another one to see if the system holds pressure. If it doesn't, this could indicate that there's a leak in an air hose. This is why we are testing each air hose individually. If the system holds pressure with one or more air hoses, then the issue could be an air hose, not the compressor. If the system doesn't hold pressure with any of the air hoses, then it is most likely a problem with the compressor. The probability of having all 4 of your air hoses having leaks is very small. You can see here that this compressor is holding air with all 4 air hoses, so there is no problem with the air hoses or the compressor. This is a compressor that I know is compromised, so we're going to do the same test with the air hoses. But you'll see that it does not ever come up to pressure. Because the compressor didn't hold pressure with any of these air hoses, we know that the compressor is the issue here. I'll show you this procedure one more time, but this time with a different set of air hoses. I know that there is a problem with one of these air hoses, so we are going to see what that sounds like when we do this test. This one seems to be working. This one seems to be working. And you can hear that it is still running. So there's a hole in this air hose near the base. And then this one is working. Following those steps, we'll identify whether a leak in the system is coming from the controller or the air hoses. If there are no issues with the controller or air hoses, then you'll need to check the air bands. Follow the same procedure as you did when checking the air hoses. Insert the single limb KAATSU plug and one air hose into your KAATSU device. You'll use this as the starting point to test your air bands one by one. Turn on your device and set it to constant mode. Then set the pressure to 250 SKU. Press save to start the device. Note whether the compressor is able to come up to pressure, and remain there for 10 seconds when you connect to an airband. If so, the airband is fine, like this one. Repeat this process for each of your airbands and make note of any airband that doesn't allow the system to hold pressure. Let's say you make it through this process and find that one airband is not holding pressure. There are a few potential reasons for this. First, if the airband you have is the style with the L-shaped stem, it could be a leak where the stem and air bladder join. A second possibility is that the O-ring on the airband valve is worn. A third is that the valves on the air hose and airbands didn't quite seat properly. You'll note that when you're testing the leg bands, it will take longer to compress. This is normal behavior, but it should come up to pressure. We can see here that this airband is not coming up to pressure, and the controller has to keep running to try and get it to come to full pressure. This airband probably has a leak. Let's test our next one. This last airband is holding pressure, so this one is the one that is having problems. We have identified that this airband has an issue. It is possible that the O-ring is leaking. So what we can do is we can take a spare O-ring from our set and replace this O-ring and see if it is able to hold pressure. There's the old one. There's the new one. Let's take our C4 and test again. And you can see that the compressor is still not able to maintain pressure, so the problem is not with the O-ring, the problem is probably with the airband itself. This airband will need to be replaced. I would like to say that owning KAATSU equipment will always be trouble-free, but as with most things in life, there are always issues that can arise. If you ever need to contact KAATSU Canada about a KAATSU Cycle 2.0, C3, or C4 system that's not working, I'm going to ask you to follow the steps that are outlined in this video first to help isolate the issue. In the rare event that these steps don't reveal the issue, we will probably ask you to send your entire KAATSU system back to us for a thorough evaluation. If your equipment does need to be sent in and you don't want to be without your KAATSU, we have a KAATSU loaner program. Just pay for the cost of shipping to your location and back, and we will send you a KAATSU system to use while your equipment is in for evaluation. I hope this tutorial video has been helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us through our website, by phone, email, or text. Thanks for watching.